We knew going into the San Francisco shows that they were really special shows,
Yeah.
and we catered them to a really specific, place in our lives. There was 3 shows and 3 just like really great nights, and so we knew going into it that we wanted to get them on film. So we did that in case later on we would want to make a DVD.
Pretty much, and we shot it. We got a lot of people and friends of ours and stuff, and just try to document those 3 days as much as we could.
Okay.
And now somebody's got to sit through and see what we want to do with it. But it's cool that we got it.
That's a big hypothetical. We're not going to make another record, but I think part of making Faith No More work, when it did work, and when we were writing songs, was all of us, I think, left the baggage of our other influences sort of outside the door, and we just came together as a band and kind of created something that was a fusion of just sort of what was in the room. I don't think we would bring things from, I don't know, maybe. What do you think of that theory?
Yeah, I think you're in a way. I guess you always, just when whatever part of thing you're working in, you kind of have a little bit of a different identity. We kind of have a certain identity when it's all of us. And a lot of it is, I think, it's 2 things. One is just kind of being able to relax, to express yourself, and the other is to work with the strengths and weaknesses of everybody else. So, hopefully you get better at it the more you do it. I have probably about 500 or 600 things that could possibly be Faith No More material. I don't stop writing. I always write.
I don't know. I don't really understand our American audience enough to say that we're identified that much with that one song. I kind of think we're not. I think it's more than that to the American audience.
The press is one thing, and the media, and like VH1, and then there's also the people who hear it. It's a really big country, and I think I agree with Roddy. I think that it's really hard to say.
And I would like to clear something up too. People have been asking me, like on this tour, on different tours, or when we were just in America, they were saying, hey, assuming the fact that they think the reason that we're not touring America is because we weren't popular there, or there weren't enough people to want to see us play. That's not the case, I'm sure. If we wanted to tour America, we would tour America just fine, but we just didn't have a real desire to get into the bus and play little cities all over America. That's just not where we're at today.
Well, kind of burned us out back in the day, for sure, because we did do that all the time. But, in a weird way, too, though. I would say whoever, the powers that be in the States, who put on the shows, it was like, we have a show in San Francisco, which is our hometown, called Outside Lands is the name of it. They didn't want us on this year, which is really odd, because we're from there, and, we were actually available to do it. And I would say, it's really hard to say, but I think that though we had probably a big commercial success at one time in the States, it was a very limited period of time, and the people who kind of worked for us out there kind of saw us as this kind of thing. And in the industry, I don't know if that's a good word to use, but there's a certain perception that I can't think has stuck with us in the States and not anywhere else. I don't think it gets down to the basic fan, but I think that with getting stuff done, we have to go through this kind of prejudice a little bit.
Getting started was really, really fun. It was really exciting. There have been a lot of times since we'd all interacted as a band. So it was a crazy, for me anyway, I won't speak for myself, but crazy nervous energy getting back in the same room with everybody and going through those songs. It was very emotional. I hadn't counted on it being that emotional. It was a really, really heavy thing. Just to get in the room and play the songs amongst ourselves initially. That was a really intense thing for me. That was a favorite. And then in the same way, just starting, like, the first show we played in Brixton was really, really exciting and highly charged, and just a real emotional, just great feeling.
Billy?
Been a lot, actually. There's
Yeah?
been a lot going on. I mean, there's the Brixton thing was a big deal, but it was very charged. But we were definitely different then than we are now. And I would say, like, you know, the other night, like, that Serbia doing that song was like, that was a big thing. Doing, I would say on every tour, pretty much we have quite a few pretty memorable, strange things.
Definitely
One weird thing about that show,
Yeah.
they had this arm railing at the bottom of the stairs, and we got out of the van. I was running upstairs, and my arm scraped the railing all the way up the arm. Well, this is like 45 minutes before I played. I couldn't move my hand, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And how did I do? I take just a bunch of Advil.
I think you iced it.
Iced it.
Gutted it out. His hand literally didn't work.
It didn't work, but somehow it could hold a pick, and I played the set fine. And it was just like, I think probably if I would have missed my arm by this much, I probably would have just screwed up my arm. And somehow it got right in the right spot where it didn't affect here. Amazing.
We've been really lucky, though. The booking of this tour has been, we've been pretty specific about making most shows pretty special. And most shows, we always walk away with a really crazy, positive experience. We've been really lucky. Like the New York shows we just played were amazing. You know, we played right on the river, looking at New York at sunset. It was just amazing opportunity. Serbia, that show we played the other night, was insane. It was so much fun. I mean, we put work into it too. We played that song that only those people from that country would have understood, and it was really just an amazing time. We've been pretty fortunate.
Also, I mean, our fans coming to all of our shows have been pretty much amazing across the board. Like, it's really hard to have a bad show and a bad time when you have so much energy coming your way. Like, there's so much positive energy that you can really work with that. You know, it's a pleasure, and it just makes things that much better. So we've been really, really lucky. Pretty much on every show, I would say, of this tour, do we have one show where they were just like total sticks in the ass?
It hasn't been
They've been
really.
pretty happy to see us everywhere.
Pretty much every single show.
And that's a function, I think, though, also of us not overdoing it. You know, not going too much, making the shows count. You know, and people knowing that it's not like a 10-year farewell tour. I mean, come and see us when you have the chance. You know, and I think that keeps it special to me.
Yeah. Appreciate it when it's here.
Because we do too. We totally do. And that's why we're doing it.
This sounds like a kind of question a Frenchman would come up with.
This is my special question.
Special question?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't really have. We have like we have to get the suits cleaned every day, and that's sort of a specific thing on our rider. We have dirty magazines on the rider for some reason. I think Tim Moss, our acting manager right now, put that on the rider more than we did. We're not really interested. I know I did step in at one point and insist that we had equal shares, so now we have some naked men as well as naked women.
They say that, I think there's one thing on the rider says that give us the porn, most filthiest, surprise us on how disgusting it is. So this is what they give us in Belgium.
I wouldn't show my kids that. That would upset my children.
In Turkey, it was the Rob Report. It was some other Financial Times somewhere.
Tim also has a machete or something, or a meat cleaver on the rider.
Yeah.
For him, it's retarded.
Okay.
Corsages, flowers for our suits.
To be clear, it's like a 56-page rider, but most of it has to do with technical stuff like lights and sound and stuff like that.
It's honestly, it's been a very good sort of sense of closure for us personally, what we are. We've been through so much time together. Billy and I have known each other since we were 10 years old or something, you know. I mean, it's a lot of time that we've spent together. Well, 4 of us at least, 3, 4 of us, you know, the 3 in this room right now. I mean, 25 years, whatever, of, you know, ups
changes,
and downs,
yeah.
and working together and living together
Oh, more.
and making art together and traveling together. There's so many ups and downs. You know, our relationships have gone all over the place. And to leave at this point with our relationships intact, artistically as well as just like personally, us as friends, this is a pretty amazing thing
It's a
to be
big
able
statement. Yeah.
to take away.
I mean, maybe just trust your instincts and trust yourself over the years. I mean, we did tour a lot, we worked a lot, we went through a lot of changes, like Riley was saying, and just to kind of like, it's almost only now where you can actually look at what you did and actually see why you were doing what you're doing, because you were so focused on just day by day, making it through the day, you know, making it through the week, that you don't have the luxury of looking at why you're doing it sometimes. And so it's nice now to look back and say, I'm glad I trusted my instincts